Guys, welcome to another edition of Earle's Classic Cars, a very special drive-by junkyard edition of Earle's Classic Cars. Behind me here is a very rare 1967 Pontiac. Is it a Tempest? Is it a Le Mans? No, it is a GTO. And not just any GTO, it's a convertible GTO. Does it have a 4-speed? Let's find out. As we told you in some of our videos from the past year, we moved last summer, and we moved just 3 miles down the road from where we lived. And as we started going back and forth on the road we live on now, I kept seeing this blue car poking out from behind a garage and a shed, and I could see from the front of it, and I could see from the back of it, that it was a Pontiac. But I wasn't sure. I thought, well, it's got to be probably a Tempest or a Le Mans, and probably just an old parts car. Well, we stopped by a few weeks ago and spoke to the lady who lives here, and she said her son had this car out back, and I was able to come take a look at it, and I was shocked to find out that it is a convertible 1967 Pontiac GTO. Not the Le Mans, not the Tempest, a GTO. Less than 2 miles down the road from my house on the same stretch of road. I was shocked. Let's get a closer look at it. As you can see here, it is in extremely rough shape here on the back end. The tail panel is separated from the fender. The fender has had some work done on it in the past. Where the GTO emblems would be, they're rusted off. I tried to lift up on the hood just a little bit, and as you can see, it is crunchy and everything wants to fall out of it. Trying to get a closer look. It looks like the cross frame here where the gas is. The bumper's gone, obviously, and the frame is really rusted off of this thing. And getting a closer look in here, you can tell the frame appears to be rusted away from the gas tank. The original gas tank is still there. Excessive rust here, in here. And when I came and looked at this car a few weeks ago, none of this was here, but now it has its own homegrown security system. Pricker bushes all over the side of it here, making it difficult to get a closer look. But we're going to do it anyway. I talked to the owner of the car, like I said, the lady who lives here. She said her son owned it, and I spoke to him the other day, and he said, sure, go ahead and take a video of it. And so here we are. We're trying to get a closer look. Obviously, it has got an old tarp on it. And as you can see here, there's the motor and everything for the convertible top. The bright metalwork's still there. The frame itself for the convertible top is all still there, so that looks pretty good. And I'm going to make sure what's left of this tarp goes right back where it was. Try to protect this car as best we can. When I get done with the video, I will certainly cover it back up. But at some point in its life, looking down here, see the quarter is all rotted out of the fender well. Lower quarter here. Doors all rusted out, probably behind that metal is too. At some point in its life, somebody put some honeycomb, I guess, Trans Am wheels. I don't think a GTO ever came with those that I'm aware of. Certainly not in '67. But at some point, they had some other Pontiac wheels put on it. And looking down here, terrible rust down in here. The owner of this car said, you know, it certainly is a parts car, and I know if somebody had an extreme amount of money, they might be able to get it back on the road, but it is in extremely rough shape. Over here, more honeycomb wheels. I guess, trying to see, yep, it's got the honeycombs in all four, so the original Pontiac Rally 2s probably are long gone. Looking in here, I was trying to lift up the seat, but the seat won't move, but looking in here, I'll get you guys down in there. You can see back here, the floorboard, even though this poor car has been out in the weather, the floorboard on it looks to be pretty good in the back. However, down here below, you see the ravages of time down here as the floor is definitely a see-through floor. And look, oh yeah, forgot to mention, look down here. It's got the correct number of pedals, folks. It's a manual car, and it is a 4-speed pricker bush edition. Yes, those pricker bush security systems have made their way even inside the car, coming up through where the shifter boot would be, but the shifter boot's not there, and the shifter itself is sunk down in the hole, but it is a 4-speed shifter. In fact, the owner told me it's a Muncie 21 close ratio 4-speed. He wasn't sure of the rear end on it, but let's see what it's got under the hood, shall we? All right, so what will we find under here? Well, one thing's for sure, is we're not going to find the 389 tri-power, because that was discontinued in '66, and with this being a '67, Pontiac went with its Pontiac 400 and the 4-barrel carburetor. So disappointment in some ways. I've always been fond of the tri-power setup just because it's a tri-power, but I know it's also much more difficult to deal with than a 4-barrel carburetor. Clearly a non-AC car, and still got its original looking equipment. Not sure if it's an original 400 in it, possibly. Certainly has the original 4-speed transmission in it. Obviously upgrade in '67, so it's got the dual pot master cylinder for the brakes, help bring that horsepower down to a stop as quickly as it can. Still sitting here, see some add-ons here, aftermarket add-ons by the Hornets on the pulleys and everything. It's not rusted out under here, but this is about as far as we could get the hood up. Certainly don't want to damage it. Jeff said, the owner that is, that I could lift up the hood. Anyway, we didn't want to lift it up anymore, cause any problems. So we just wanted to get a peek under the engine, or under the hood, get a look at the engine, and we've done that. So we're going to put it back down. This thing has been sitting here so long. The last time it was towed, chain is here with it, and it's buried in the ground. This is still a remarkable specimen for its time, and certainly is a shame to see it sitting here like this. For my research, Pontiac made over 81,000 Pontiac GTOs in 1967, with only 9,000, a little over 9,500 of them being convertibles, and I could not find any statistics on the number of 4-speed convertibles there were. So if anyone in the comments can tell me if they know with any accuracy and any source that they can refer to as to how many of these were 4-speeds, that would be interesting to know. But considering there was less than 10,000 of these as convertibles, you could certainly bet the number that were 4-speeds was even less. In fact, the research said some of them were 3-speeds. So that means the population is even less. And of course, some of them were the Turbo 400 hydromatic transmissions. But this one is in bad shape, but it is a 4-speed and a 400. In here, I also forgot to mention, of course, the wood grain grill, wood grain dash. And let's see, can we tell maybe how many miles it had on it when it was parked? It says, I can't tell, the needle's in the way, something 7359. Looking at the pedals, of course everyone says that's a sign that it's older. I'd say the clutch pedal is a little worn off there, but the brake pedal and stuff and the gas pedal, not much at all. So I'd say maybe less than 100,000, maybe a little over 100,000. Original radio's gone. Yeah, definitely not an AC car, but it does have the tick-tock tack. Love that. That's ultra cool. Let's see what else we can find over here on the other side. Actually, it's just a clock. I got excited thinking it was a tick-tock tack, but nope. There's the aftermarket tack right there. Oh well, still cool. Oh yeah. And of course I forgot to mention one of my all-time favorite things, the white interior on these muscle cars. As you know, I'm a sucker for the white interiors on muscle cars. And this one, believe it or not, despite the weather, and I'm sure the cushions are no good, and there's a gash down here, but overall, it's still in good shape. Hey, I wonder if anybody's been smoking in here lately. No, but I wonder how old that cigarette is in there. Not going to find out. Well, guys, All the door locks and everything are rusted shut, so I was gonna try to look in the glove compartment and see if we could find out any original paperwork on it, but that's not happening. So it's gonna be difficult to tell you any more about it other than it's a GTO, a rusty one. From the inspection sticker, it looks like it was last on the road sometime in the 1980s, maybe 1988. It's a little hard to tell. Certainly sad to see it sitting here like this, but we don't know for sure if this is its final resting place or what will happen to it, or if it will be donated for a greater cause. It would be good to see it put back on the road, but it's going to take a tremendous amount of time, effort, patience, and oh yeah, money. So what's the history on this car? Well, the owner told me that he was working with his father years ago. They had a septic tank business and they were in another town here in Middle Tennessee, and this car was sitting off to the side. It was off the road at that time too, 25 years ago, I think he told me. And of course the old man that owned it didn't know what, if anything, he was going to do with it, so the current owner bought it from him 25 years ago with plans to build it, but he's also been working to build his business over the years. He has a 48 coupe off to the side over here that he and his dad built, and he never got around to this thing, and it's still sitting here. And unfortunately, it looks to be in almost unsalvageable shape. Of course, I know with anything, with time and money, you certainly could put this thing back on the road, but what do you think? What would your opinion be? You know, I like to say in these drive-by junkyard episodes, what would you do? Would you restore it? Is it actually restorable? Is it just good for parts? Or should it just sit here in this drive-by junkyard? Let me know in the comments. And in fact, guys, if you like what we're doing, you know what they say, please like, share, and subscribe. And by the way, we have memberships open to people. So if you'd like to support what we're doing, join the 199ers Club. What's the 199ers Club? It's just $1.99 a month to be a member, which helps this channel grow and it helps keep these videos coming to you. So consider membership and have a good one. Stay tuned to see more from me, Earle with an E.